What's going on, guys? So the Chocobo here, and welcome back to the EMC episode, as I'm going to call it. And this bad boy is going to probably be a little bit of a weird one, but should be good regardless. So anyways, we have, of course, our little machine here. Now, this bad boy has, of course, been burning fuel non-stop for quite some time now. And it has gone through a number, actually, of diamond hoes. I think like 3 or so. But, yeah, it has gone through a couple of them, and it's it's kind of doing its own thing and whatever else. But we did end up doing a little bit of kind of experimentations and a little bit of research and whatnot. So what we ended up doing, as I slowly kill myself, is we do have this all set up, but you may notice that there is a certain lack thereof of a certain thingamajig known as the Watch of Flowing Time. You might be like, well, Choco, well, what's going on here? What happened? And let me show you what we got going on. So we had talked about in an experiment we had done that the EMC things work beautifully in the nether, and sure enough they do. And so you might be like, okay, so what does this exactly mean for us? Like what does this do for us at the end of the day? And let me show you what is the result of, admittedly it's still several days, right? It wasn't like it was overnight, but several days worth of it just running like so netted us this. Now, if you don't know what this is red matter. 29 million, almost 30 million per stack. And this is with the MK1s. Now you might be like, Choco, just put them into the EMC table. Like, what are you doing? Just get them in there. And we're going to do that right now. But the reason why I wanted to make sure that we were all on the same page about this is because this is a rather large jump forward. So right there, you're going to see boom, 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 tons of EMC just kind of flowing on in. And we're going to need to do something that we haven't done in a little while. I don't know if you're able to do it the old-fashioned way, so we're going to give this a try real quick. But we do have an absolute nice chunk of EMC here, which is always a good thing. But that's not actually what I was interested in doing per se. That's not the end goal, so to speak. Now, that's not to say that that isn't an important part of this, because it is. But... Taint here? Taint? Well, that's weird. Alright, but yeah. Anyways. So, that's kind of strange. But we are going to be going ahead and using the same principle, and we're going to be applying it to a bigger version of the farm. And the reason why we needed the EMC to be kind of harvesting slowly over time, while we were kind of doing other things, recording ARC or whatever else, is because we need to be able to use the EMC in order to make the higher tier ones. Now, for those of you who don't know what the math ends up becoming, I believe, I'm not 100% sure about this, but I think it ends up being something along the lines of, let me see if I can, ooh, is this a flat bedrock surface? It looks flat. It looks awfully flat. Ooh, that's not good. Okay. That's not good at all. Alright, so this is a problem, because I was actually hoping that we would not have a flat surface above here. So, question number 2 is, do we have access to this? Hold on 1 second, guys. Dang it, I don't have access to that command. Alright, so we're going to have to do this the other way, which is fine. That will also work just fine. So, the EMC values that you get from the generators. Now, let me just get this back up here. So if you look at Project E, this thing collects at a maximum generation rate of 4 EMC per second. MK2 goes 12, so that's 3 times, and then 40, which is 10 times at MK3. So what we've been generating right now is absolutely nothing compared to the monstrosities that we're going to be creating here in a little bit. So what we're going to end up doing is I'm going to have to be a little bit weird about how I'm doing this. But basically, we're going to just shell out this whole area, I suppose, because it does look like this is not a naturally generated nether, which is totally and completely fine. That's, what can you really do about that? But it does appear to be a non-basic nether spawn, which is something that is not the most convenient, admittedly. I would rather that have been the case, but we'll go ahead and make this work. I am going to have to hollow out a fair bit of this, and we're going to replace our little EMC structure that we have down there with our own in here. Now, you might be like, well, Choco, what's the point of this? Why would you go through the trouble of making a new area, basically, for all this stuff? And the answer is quite simple, which is I don't want mobs to be spawning in the area that this is happening in. I also would like to kind of have it a little bit more concealed, so it's not kind of in the way of anything. That's more for, you know, cosmetic sake, as well as just making sure that it's not going to interfere with anyone else's episodes, or so people don't like accidentally get it blown up or something. I have to worry about making sure I check in on it. It should be, once it's done, it's a deploy and forget. Now, there are a couple things that need to be done in addition to just setting up the EMC little things. But we're gonna have to see how we can get that going. And apparently there is stream coming in clutch. There's a silverfish pet, which can indeed be created. Okay, so perhaps this is actually all for nothing. So let's go ahead and go back. Let's create a silverfish pet, and let's see if we can do some really weird stuff. Silverfish. Now, it does, of course, remember what world you're in, so I have to retype all this stuff in. Alright, so I need 1 cobblestone, 1 diamond, 1 gold, and then 6 iron nuggets. That's actually not too expensive. So let me start off with a diamond. We have the cobblestone already. I think I said gold, right? I think I said gold. And then I believe it is 6 iron nuggets is the rest of what I need. So we'll just have to take 1 iron nugget out of there. And then we'll convert those into nuggets. And then we should have a silverfish pet. Cool. Alright, so with this in hand, let's see if this works. If it does work, excellent, 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 excellent. Because that means that we can absolutely make something really wonderful out of this. If not, that is completely fine. But I think you guys are right. I think this will work. So hold on, let me see here. So it does eat cobblestone, and right click to walk through a wall. Doesn't seem to be doing anything. So how does this work? Immune to suffocation, walk through wall. It doesn't seem to be working. I don't think I can go through that. Let me see here. Let's test this out real quick. Oh, that was weird. What happened there? Okay, I'm not entirely sure what just happened there. Okay, so that works, but unfortunately it does not seem to really enjoy going through bedrock. I think what it is because there's a probably like couple of actual things of bedrock between me and the end. So it doesn't unfortunately seem to work that way. I do think it will go up and down. I just don't think it will work with this particular regard. So let me just test that theory. So if I put that down here, oh, perhaps vertically it is actually not able to do stuff. Okay, so it's a vertical problem then. It appears to be a vertical issue. All right, so unfortunately silverfish pet is no bueno. I think actually the security craft or whatever mod in here, which if that is in here, yeah, I think they have that block remover, don't they? I think they have a block remover that allows me to just straight up remove bedrock. But I don't know. Universal block modifier. Perhaps that's it. Reinforcer, briefcase. I do think they have a thing for a universal block remover. Shears and 2 ingots. Let's see here. So shears, 2 ingots. Perhaps that will work. Because I wasn't really planning on messing around with this too terribly much, but since we're on the subject, might as well, I suppose. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. Get that, make some shears. And then let's go ahead, put them down. And universal block remover. Let's give this a try. And then with that, let's see if that will work. This admittedly is also kind of a long shot of a long shot. Let's see here. Unfortunately, it does not look like it's going to do much of anything at all for us. Unfortunate. I think it's only for security craft blocks. Yeah, I think so. Unfortunately. I was wondering if it was like, since it said universal, maybe it was just like it could remove any block, but it does not seem to be the case. But let's go ahead. Let's dig this all up. And let's just go ahead and set this all up as it is. So, unfortunately, if we had the ability to, if we had the thingamajig, if we had the uneven ceiling, we could do what we did in previous Minecraft versions, which is we could kind of throw in an ender pearl up there. I was thinking maybe we could do that with morphs, but I honestly, I don't know. I feel like at that point you're just being a little bit too cheaty. Because that seems a little bit ridiculous, and frankly, it's just not really that important. So we'll see. Let's get through here, and just like that, we should now have the footprint we need for the width. Now we do need a little bit more depth here, so let's get that rocking and rolling. And also, it would be nice if we had a little bit of extra leeway here, but I think this will be okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and clear this all out. This will be worth it in the end, I promise. And just like that. I know it seems kind of ridiculous to do it this way, and I know that some people are going to talk about like different tools and gadgets and gizmos, but sometimes you just gotta put in the old-fashioned love into the work that you do. 'Cause for some reason, this is like weirdly like if I play Minecraft, I feel not right if I don't use a shovel and pickaxe. So we'll go ahead and just go through like this. Whoop. Alright, and with that, we are, I think, just about there. I do hear a skeleton above me. It's probably a 3 deep ceiling of bedrock, is my guess. Okay. Alright then, I guess we're going 1 deeper. Oh, nether sulfur. Alright, let's go down. Let's go through, break that, and just like so, we are burning through. Let's see here. Alright, so let's go ahead and break through here. Of course, I'm going to acknowledge this again, just so people will stop talking about it. I do acknowledge that there are probably better tools that exist. I also acknowledge that there are probably ways up there. I don't care enough about getting up there. It was something that would have been nice to have, but at this point, it really makes very little difference. So I wouldn't stress about it too much. But let's go ahead, just burn through all this stuff here. And oh yes, I completely forgot. We forgot the smooth jazz. How dare I? How dare I forget the smooth jazz? There we go. Now we can grind in peace. Alright. And this should be the last layer that I actually need to do here. I don't even think I needed to do this layer, to be completely honest, but that's alright. Alright, just like that. And this will be a little bit more of a controlled environment, which is nice. And I can also eventually make this look into something a lot cooler than what we have going on here. It is a shame that Vein Miner was taken out, though. That is a shame. Because Vein Miner could have been very, very handy for a lot of this stuff. Alas. Alright, so let's go ahead. Let's swoop up a whole lot of this tainted earth. There's a lot of tainted earth here. Alright, looking good. Now, if I was to be completely max minning and blah blah blah, I would actually want to be looking at where my chunk borders are and what I would have to do in order to stay within the chunk. But we're not going to worry about that too much. I don't think we're going to ever hit 50 chunks I'm going to want loaded, because that seems like a lot of server load for not a whole lot of reasons. And I think we don't need a ludicrous amount of EMC. We need it would be nice to have basically infinite, right? But I don't know if we have to necessarily push that number excessively. I think we can get away with just doing a bit of EMC here and there, a spot of EMC, and we should be a-okay. go ahead, rip all this down. Whoop, one too many. All right, and then let's go ahead, slash back. And then we'll just chuck in all that netherrack. Oh, there must be something underneath me. And another coal ore does not satisfy the requirement for actually being able to be put in. Interesting. All right, so either way. So we're going to go ahead and now have to do a couple other things here. I'm going to go ahead and just toss these into there. We'll just learn them. Why not? So we're going to have to go ahead and get this started off. So Project E. I'm not terribly familiar with the recipe, so I'm going to have to do this for a moment. So I'm going to need, what, 7 glowstone, the MK1, and dark matter. So I should be able to do that. So dark matter, 7 glowstone, and then 1 energy collector. And then that should net me an MK2. And let's feed the MK2 into there. And then this is going to be the same exact thing, except with red matter. So let's do that. MK2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Whoop, one too many. Alright, looking good. Energy collector. MK3 acquired. Looking good. Oh, we also have a whole bunch of red matter there that I didn't even realize. Alright, so energy collectors are now done. We also are going to need these relays, as well as an MK2 chest. Now, I don't actually think we need the condenser to be MK2 in truth, but that's alright. We'll roll with it for now. So, in order to make this, same exact setup, except it's going to be obsidian instead, I believe. So, we're going to need that MK1 relay. Obsidian. Actually, let's go ahead and just snatch all that out of there. Alright, so obsidian. Let's just take a stack of the stuff out. And then let's go ahead and make ourselves the MK2. Very cool. And then MK3, I'm assuming is going to be just the same exact recipe as the other one. Yes, it is. Whoop. Alright, and then obsidian, antimatter. Awesome. Alright, and then we are also going to need ourselves this MK2 condenser, which is going to require a regular condenser, and then dark matter block and red matter blocks. Now, I don't believe I have any red matter blocks. Yes, I do not have any red matter blocks. But I would assume it's 9. I would assume it's 9 of these bad boys. I'll put in a bunch. Nope. Is it just a 4? Yeah, it's just a 4 square. It's actually cheaper than what I thought it was. And then let's go ahead and do the same thing for you. Very cool. Dark matter block has also been acquired. And just like that, we're going to just need 4 of those blocks. So let me get... Whoop, that's not how you spell dark. Alright, whoop. I don't see it. Hello? I know I just made some of you. Is it not called dark matter? No, it's called dark matter. Weird. Matter? Does not learn it. Strange. Okay, perhaps it doesn't learn it. So let me go ahead and get an energy condenser. We'll just take a stack of this stuff, a stack of that stuff, and then I guess we'll just work from there. So let me go ahead and just do that. Do that as well. Cool. And then energy condenser MK2. Very good. And then just like that. Weird. It doesn't seem... doesn't seem to actually properly learn it, which is kind of strange. Alright, regardless, neither here nor there. Alright, so we have ourselves MK2 energy condenser, which I should probably learn. Alright, so we just need the MK2 condenser, which apparently is not on here. What? They're all gone. Oh, now that's just strange, is what that is. Alright, so if I just type in MK... okay, there we go. Weird. I don't know what was going on with that, but that was just really strange stuff. Alright, so we're going to do some energy collectors. I'm just going to take a stack of the stuff. I think we're only going to need about 4 of these for the time being. And then I'm just going to take a bunch of these matter relays. We definitely do not need that many relays, but that's okay. Alright, so slash back. And let me see here. I'm going to go ahead and swoop up some of this stuff right here. Well, it doesn't particularly matter that I do that. And then let's start off by putting this down. Now, I'm going to have to think about this for a moment. Give me 1 sec here. So I'm going to have to be 3, I think. So 1, 2. Here, let's give it 1 more leeway. 2, 3, 4. So right about there. And then we should need a relay, just like so. Ooh, okay, so we're going to have to start from the top down. I actually need way more vertical space than what I thought I needed. Alright, so let me go ahead. Let's start from the top then. Take it from the top. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Good. Alright, and then relay. And then let's just take that all. Good looking stuff. And then the condenser right there in the middle. It should be the case. That will now take. Now for the time being, well, let's put something. Tell you what, we can do with some more of these. So we'll let that sit there. Alright, so that in and of itself, not too terribly impressive. It's kind of going on its little journey, which is fine. But it should be that once we do it like this, the bottom can be empty. This is a little bit too crowded for my taste, but for now, let's just do it like this. Yeah, we're gonna need to have at least a little access way here. All right, so let me go ahead and just dig this out real quick. Shouldn't be too terribly long. And just like that. Whoop. Little lagarinos right there. Okay, cool. And then we just are going to do that, that, and that. Now eventually we will probably want to put some tesseracts in play here, but for the time being this should work just fine. And just for the sake of making it look a little more uniform, let's just do that. Cool. Alright, cool. So the pipeline is actually already to go. It just needs to actually have the feed there, which means at this point that we can now do the other thing. Now we could make this into a condensed thing. We may do that later on, but for the time being we're not, and that's kind of like a personal choice. But we could theoretically do that. I just don't really see the need to do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to chain these, and I know that's not exactly like the most optimal way to do it, but it should work just fine. Alright, cool beans. And then let's go ahead up the top, and then one to the side, one to this side. And then, just like that, we have the beginnings of a humble secondary relay. Now, again, we don't have anything running in here at the moment, so not a whole lot going on. But, in time it will be pretty darn content with itself. Alright, and then 1, 2, 3. And then again, we're just going to put in this guy, just for the sake of argument, into there. And then let's actually dig this one more down so I can actually properly go in there. Get my hands in there. Get my hands a little bit dirty. So let's go ahead, dig this out. And this will be a little bit helpful later on when we put the pipeline down. Pipelining is not going to be as fun. But you can see here, it's gathering up my EMC. Alright, I could be doing better. But what's going to be the real kicker is this. So, whoop. Why are you mad at me? I didn't do anything to you. We're cool, man. We're cool. And then let's just take the tainted soil out of there. Alright, yeah. You're a zombie pigman, you're mad. You're mad at the world, I get it. Wait, what? Oh, it's still on the ground. Perfect. Alright, so let me go ahead and snatch that up. And let me... Where... Wait. Yes. Yes? I thought yes. Question mark? Okay, there it is. And let me just go ahead and run this up here. And then we are going to do this, which is going to make this whole operation seem a lot more worthwhile, probably. So let's go ahead, put that on. Whoop, I'm trying to put steak in there, which is not going to work. And that should be on fast forward mode, which, if survey is correct, there we go, much better. And the rate is drastically increased, which is what you were hoping to see. All right, cool. So let me go ahead. We're just going to plop that along. Now, truth be told, I should probably center them each, or at least side them. So I should probably give them one each. I probably will end up doing that, but for the time being, let's go with this way. So let me add another antimatter relay, just like so. And then we're just going to put that up top there, put that on the side. Whoop. All right. And then put that over there. And should just be a rather simple set of additions. If I can get it just right. Okay, there's that one. There's that one. Whoop, this one. There we go. And then right there. Cool. Alright, so that is now all set and ready to roll. Very nice. Let's go underneath the belly of the beast here. And again, just for the heck of it, let's put that in there, just for the lulz. And then we'll lock that up. Alright, cool. So that is now running in place. We have one more to go. That was actually just about right, huh? We were just about that 4 length. That's actually like perfectly spaced. Holy cow. I was not expecting it to be that that perfectly laid out, but hey, I will not complain. You'll not hear me complain about that working out in my favor. Alright, so let me go ahead. Just plop on a couple of little extra bits and pieces here. Whoop. And we are one short over yonder. Alright, perfect. And then let's go ahead, steal that and put that over there. Very, very cool. And then let me see here. Let's actually zip on down underneath. And let's see. Let's see if we got any energy collectors that we can steal and make use of right now. We do. We have 4 in here. Another 4 in there. Perfect. That actually should be able to do it for us. Because we just needed 4 actually. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we'll just go ahead and drop another energy collector in here. It doesn't really matter what's in there, honestly speaking. Now the bigger the material, so let's say that I were to use the red matter blocks everywhere, and Ben joined the game, but the bigger the material in terms of the EMC value, the slightly better off we are, right? So if we are using red matter, for example, we'll get those millions each time we do the interaction, which condenses inventory space later on when we're thinking about AE2 and stuff like that. So yeah, it stands to reason that we would probably want to do that. But for the time being, we should be A-okay. Let me go ahead and get 3 more of these bad boys, and let's actually use the red matter. I think we'll use red matter. Because red matter this is a pretty happy medium between all the different things that you could possibly use in there. It's not too big, it's not too small, it's just in that sweet spot. Now we could use the blocks, but I feel like that's a little bit too unwieldy. It's a little bit too large. So we're going to go ahead and just do it this way. So I'm going to go ahead and disconnect this. And then I'm just going to plop one down to the side here. And let me go ahead and move these watches all down. Alright, so fast forward, fast forward, and fast forward. Very good. And then we're going to go ahead, drop this into there. Turn that on. Drop that into there. And turn that on. Drop this into there. And turn that on. And then drop that into there. Whoop. And turn that on. Alright, cool. And so what we should be seeing is that these rates are all going up much more steadily, much more rapidly. And these things are actually a little bit bigger than the red matter orbs are. So let me go ahead. I'm just going to take you out of there. I'm going to take you out of play for a moment. I don't technically need to do what I just did, but that's alright. Alright, let's go ahead and just put 4 into there. And we'll just use these red matter orbs. Alright, so we have 1 red matter, 2 red matter, 3 red matter, and then of course the last one over here in the corner, which needs to be adjusted still. And just like that. So now we are actually doing A-OK. By way of red matter being produced, it's kind of just creating whatever it needs to be. Now we can expand this out. We could be a little bit more efficient about it if we certainly wanted to. And we can make kind of like a circle, like a wreath pattern almost around these things. We're not going to worry about that just because it doesn't really... I don't particularly have the need for that much EMC, I don't think. We may eventually want to make some more. It wouldn't be the hardest thing in the world to do, so I'm not too terribly concerned about it. But we'll see. We may end up revising that opinion, but for the time being, I think there should be more than enough EMC to start off. Because we do kind of take relatively long recording breaks between each session, it should be that this actually goes by just fine. It should be just going over just dandy. Now let me see here. So the next part of this all, well, the very first thing I suppose I should do is we should do this. So I need, so I need to do that. We're just gonna claim that all. What is that? Is that me? Oh, is that a little me? Oh, that's so cool. I'm a little dude. I didn't even realize I had a little indicator there. That's actually really kind of nice. Alright, so either way. So this is now all set up. We do have this now flowing. You can see the red matter is kind of coming in. This is going to give us millions, and that's kind of whatever. We will eventually probably just kind of tinker around with it. Whenever I actually have the desire to put down more, I will probably end up putting down more. And that'll probably be another couple days or so before I really feel the desire to do that. But that should run now for the time being. Will get us a lot more of these red matter orbs, and that will, of course, be able to help us out. But it wouldn't be quite right to leave it like this. There's one more step to this whole process, and then we can go ahead and say, you know what, for the time being, we're in good shape. And that is I am going to need for it to move itself, because it wouldn't do us much. Whoop, is this liquid? I think this might be liquid. Nope, it's items. Perfect. All right, so let's go ahead and get these transfer nodes in here, and let's get these transfer pipes as well. And then we also should probably invest in some speed upgrades. Now, I don't know if I have a stack upgrade in here. Yep, I don't have a stack upgrade. So let's go ahead. Let's just do stack upgrade. It's not really necessary, but you know, can't hurt. So gold, diamonds, a gold nugget, and then a speed upgrade. Doesn't sound too hard. Alright, so let's go ahead, get some diamonds. And at this point, because we just have enough EMC, we can just do this kind of en masse. We can just do that, and then make a stack upgrade. And then just like that, we are in good shape. And then let's just go ahead, drop this in here, make sure that we learn how to make the upgrade. That's update, a completely and utterly different word. Alright, and let me just do, let's just get 4 stacks of these bad boys. Drop these off. And then let's just do 4 of these. No need for waste. No need for waste. All right. Cool. Okie dokie smoky. So let's go ahead, drop some of these bad boys onto here. Ooh, and you can see here, we're gonna probably have to wrench that at some point. I don't think it even knows how. Huh, I never even realized what these are. I wonder what that does. I don't know if this actually makes a difference, but whatever, we'll see. I may have to investigate that at some other point. But for the time being, each one gets 1 stack upgrade, 1 speed upgrade. Let me just go ahead and just plop them all in real quick. Whoop. And then we are going to need stack upgrades. So stack upgrade in there, stack upgrade in there. And this is if I ever decide to change it up and say, hey, you know what, I want something else going through there. Other than that, it really doesn't serve a terribly large function, because we should never really be running into getting over a stack of anything being generated. That should be not happening in this system, but you know, we'll see. We'll see if we end up having to revise that. But alright. Now ideally, what we would do is we would do this. This will shorten the travel time a little bit. So we have 2 there. Alright, and then it meets up in this weird kind of situation. I think for the time being, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go ahead, /back. And let's go and make ourselves 2 crystal chests. So we have 2 different inventories that they go to. This is not really the right way to do this. Actually, you know what? No, let's do it the right way. Let's do it the right way. This is going to take a little bit longer to search. Eventually, we'll condense this down with tesseracts and stuff like that, but for the time being, this will do the job just fine. Alright, so let me go ahead and cool. And just like that, now we have ourselves a little receptacle for all these things. It should just be gathering up all the red matter that I could possibly ever want into there, and then we can just take it. So each of these stacks, again, about 30 million. Not bad at all, not too shabby. Certainly can be more. We can certainly get more of the stuff, but for the time being, it will certainly do the job. So let's go ahead and just chuck that into there, because it's a fair chunk of EMC for where I'm at right now. We definitely have more than enough EMC than what we need for the time being, and that was running off MK1s. So this should be a little bit faster, and by a little bit I mean a good bit. And that should be fine. Now, with that all said and done, this is going to be I think this will probably be the most efficient setup for this thing. So if you guys are ever like kind of curious about it, I'd also be curious to know if you guys know of anything else. Now, I do not mean, hold on, let me clarify something. The structural setup, I understand the following. This right here, I think that each one of these modules is probably the most efficient you're going to get. Off the top of my head, I'm not like really like super hardcore doing the math here. It could be that these are shared and that may actually take away from a little bit of the generation. But in terms of the way this is set up, being put in the nether, and generally just kind of surrounding each little bit here with MK3s, I think that will net you the fastest amount. Now we could obviously put in, like, again, like I said, we can like link them together, make like a wreath pattern. I call it a wreath pattern. I don't know why I've been calling it a wreath pattern, but that's what I think of it as. But like if we kind of chain them together, we could theoretically add in more and kind of squish in the space and make the most out of it. Or like even if it was just kind of squeezing in a couple of extra bits here and there in the space, we could do it. But that's not what we're interested in. But I think this is probably the best setup. I do know that some people, if you build in the overworld, it's dependent upon light. And so because it's dependent upon light, it has a little bit of a hard time dealing with the fact that you have to have like some kind of light source always on, so you have to kind of put, I think a lot of people use glowstone these days. But this one, it's in the nether, it's always on, and that's why it's actually quite nice. The footprint is going to be smaller. It's actually really quite simple. So anyways, that's going to be the whole thing for this. The only times you'll probably see this ever again is if I decide to expand it massively. If I decide to do like little expansions, maybe I'll kind of showcase it to you guys, but I really doubt it's going to even come to that. So that is going to, I think, wrap it up for today. It's a little bit of a short episode. That way people can catch up on episodes and do whatever else they need to do. But either way, pretty big thing. I did want to make sure that we get this out of the way and done so that we can have that farming for us while we kind of do other things. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the episode, consider leaving a like rating down below. Subscribe to the channel if you are new and you'd like to see more of this stuff. And I'll see you guys next time. So take care, everybody. And I'm just going to quickly clear my inventory so it doesn't look quite as awful. All right, and ciao for now.